Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Let's talk Internet Computer Protocol (ICP). Today, in our 18th episode, we have invited Isaac Valdez, founder of Ntagle and one of the most important members of the ICP community. Thank you, Isaac, for accepting the invitation. It's a real pleasure to be able to chat with you today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's really exciting to be on the podcast. I've enjoyed some of the previous episodes and looking forward to just chit-chatting here about the IC.
Awesome, great. Yeah, tell us more about you, about yourself, Isaac, your experience, and a little bit your background. I know you live in Houston, Texas, with your wife and your two daughters. Also, you study mechanical engineering and work in different corporate companies. For example, UCT, HP, and AT&T. Tell us a little bit more about your story, Isaac, before to dig in more in ICP and start your crazy projects.
Yeah, no, of course. So yeah, I actually grew up in kind of the North Houston area, and I was always a really nerdy kid. I was kind of a nerd, but like a cool nerd. So like I got along with everybody, but then I would spend all of my money on chemicals and like do like science experiments in my room and set things on fire. I was probably a big point of stress for my parents. I think I like blew out all the electricity in the barn when I was like 11. And so yeah, I was always really deeply interested in science. I wanted to be an inventor. I had an idea book with like over 300 and like invention ideas that I logged all through high school. And I also won second place in an astronaut invention competition in high school, but it was not for high school students. It was for just anybody across the US. So that's when I realized, yeah, I really just want to learn how to build things. I want to get involved with every aspect of making things. And so I went to college for mechanical engineering. I took minors in math and entrepreneurship. It's like one of the only engineering students on campus who had, with my entrepreneurship minor, I had business classes. So I was like the only engineer in the business school. And that was just a lot of fun. I think I started my first business and my first startup was in college. And then my second was right before I graduated. And I have 4 startups before kind of an Ntagle, and the one previous to that was a web design and digital marketing company, and yeah, so I've had a very, very broad career. So I've done mechanical engineering design, full stack web development, digital marketing, global supply chain product management, and corporate B2B sales. I think so. All the way through this year, I was working at AT&T doing enterprise telecom sales, like phone and internet services to businesses all over the US. And I've been doing a lot of stuff with Internet Computer on the side. So came up with and ran D Squad for a while. And then I just really wanted to find an opportunity to work full-time for Web3. And when it was announced that we would be, that Seb and I were leaving D Squad, but a bunch of people reached out and it looked really like that would be possible. And so yeah, I left my day job, which is always a kind of scary thing to do when you've got 2 young children to provide for. But it's all worked out really, really well. So, I started in Ntagle right around the time that I left. And so I've been working on that pretty much full time and for the last couple months. And then I also, I think I'll be announcing it. We haven't announced it too much, but I'm going to be working for Code and State. I just accepted a great role with Cedric and Artia and Seb I'll be marketing lead and starting that early January, and I'll also be working at Ntagle alongside that. So it's a really exciting time, and I think it proves how much opportunity there is in the ecosystem right now. So yeah, it's, I guess, a really, really broad overview of my background.
Hmm.
I kind of
Yeah.
went all over the place there, but yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, congratulations. I didn't know that you that Code and State hire you for the marketing role and try to promote more ICP. Code and State is doing now a great job. I know for Sev for sure, and also for
Mm.
Cedric. Yeah, and also you are a serial entrepreneur. You like investments. I know you have traded crypto since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, how did you know more? How did you get to know about internet computer, and when you did realize that internet computer is something unique? And yeah, this because I think you start crypto as everybody with Bitcoin. I'm not pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure, but and then maybe with the Ethereum, and then yeah, I'm curious when you realize like, wow, what is internet computer protocol? And then when you dig in more, and it's like, oh wow, this is amazing technology, and I want
Mm-hmm.
to be part of this ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah. It was that's actually during the Genesis event. I think I just got a random YouTube notification when the Genesis event went live. And so I joined it, and it was like, it was a long event. It was like over 3 hours. But I watched the whole thing live, and that was the first time I had heard about any of anything related to the internet computer. And it's just really exciting. I look for where the technology is strong, but maybe the marketing is weak, because that's where you find the strongest opportunities in crypto. And I just loved a lot about the approach. I mean, it's one of those things where when you find a great technology where you know that it can't be uninvented. Like once it's a cat out of the bag, and it's going to be powerful and have a strong capability for change. Like even if you know that this exact iteration of the internet computer might not be like the foundation for the future world the way it is now, like it can't be uninvented, and something very similar to this is what needs to be created and put in place for the future to become, to reach its potential that we're all looking for. Because the current tools that we were using just weren't going to get there. Like the Ethereum, I think Ethereum's really come into a place where it knows it's going to be like a settlement layer for like when you want really strong certainty on a few specific things, but not so much the global cloud that originally was hoping to be. And really the internet computers, it got all the pieces in place for achieving that dream.
Hmm. Great. Yeah. Also, I know you are a great guy, like contribute a lot for the ICP community. I think yeah, internet computer community has been lucky to have you, since you have been one of the people who has contributed more for improving ICP.
Mm-hmm.
Your contributions to the ICP ecosystem are, among others, for example, yeah, create the concept of the squad NFT. Also run as a CEO, and by the way, it won the first prize, the first place in Metaverse and NFT during the Supernova Hackathon. Also, you started with Sev 2 year, the Motoko Bootcamp that had more than 500 registrations last year. I'm not sure if you are involved in this uh, second course for the Motoko Bootcamp in January in 20 days, or is from
Yeah,
16 January to
yeah.
23rd. Yeah.
So it's this last time it was just kind of me getting myself in trouble. Like I just want to spend a week learning Motoko
Mm-hmm.
myself, and then it just blew up into this whole thing and went crazy and kept expanding. So I was it was a learning experience for me and Seb, and I was heading that one up. This time though, Seb is the one heading it up, and it's really exciting to see his growth in the ecosystem and all of the amazing work that he's been doing. So I'm still really active and involved with this next boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, some news on that, like just today, we hired an influencer, Spanish speaking influencer, to make a video promoting it. And it's been going wild. I think we've got already like 60 or 70 registrations since he published his video 3 hours ago.
Wow.
And our goal there was to really just bring people, because this channel was not Web3 focused, it was just programming and tech focused. So we really want to bring those people who might maybe know JavaScript and work as a front-end dev. We want to bring them into Web3, and we think the IC is a great way to do that. So yeah, I've been involved with some of the marketing and some of the peripheral things, but as far as the focal point, managing and running it, all of it from the beginning, Seb's been doing a fantastic job with that, and I'll actually be over there in Porto, Portugal, full time, working with the event when we're actually running it. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Is the influencer guy is like Spanish guy?
Yeah, his name's Tony, and he's from Spain, and we'll be retweeting his TikTok posts pretty soon here. But
okay.
yeah, no, it's been good, and it was something that we wanted to do as an experiment. I think that I think we need to do a lot of work marketing for the IC, and
for sure.
And you can't really get started until you start, and start collecting data and start working at it. I think that TikTok has been a place where we've been missing a lot of opportunity. We already have some great players like Crypto is Good, who's been making TikTok video content for the IC, but we could use a lot more. So this was kind of a last minute effort to just run an experiment to see how it would do, and see if we could use this Motoko Bootcamp event as a tool for bringing outside dev talent into the ecosystem, essentially. It's looking like it has a strong potential for that. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we have a good influencers also. Yeah, as you mentioned, Crypto is Good or Six Figs. They are doing a great job, for sure. Also, yeah, you created the Dapps, used it to submit NNS proposals, right? As an open community tool. I'm not sure if you want to mention something about this proposal.
Oh yeah, the NNS proposal submission Dapp.
Yes.
Yeah, so Dfinity published a while back that they would we're looking for ideas for like new sample dApps, and I said, there's not really a sample dApp for connecting to the NNS or integrating with NNS, so maybe we do something like this, and not only we kind of hit two birds with one stone. We have a new sample dApp that shows how you can integrate with the NNS, and then we also have a cleaner front end for making NNS proposals more accessible, because right before then you had to use basically the command line tool, and that's, you shouldn't really like have it so that only people who know how to do that are able to submit proposals. It needs to be more more open and accessible to everybody. So yeah, no, that was a lot of fun, and I think I wrapped that up right around the time I was leaving my day job, and then after that is kind of when I got started with Ntagle, and those two projects are really my first projects where I was doing all of the dev work myself. Because before then with D Squad, I was actually on pretty much everything non-dev related, and Seb did all of the dev work. But I've been kind of learning on the sidelines and excited to get my hands dirty, so to speak. So yeah, it's been a ton of fun. Really getting deep into building on the IC. It's been a wonderful experience.
Okay. And now digging more in Ntagle, your project. You are the creator of Ntagle. Ntagle is the first physical wallet on ICP. This wallet is able to bind Web3 tokens wallets and NFTs to physical objects. Also, with this project, you have recently won the Beetle for Web3 hackathon by Lumos Labs. Congratulations for that.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us, please, what is exactly Ntagle, how you came up with this idea, and how did you start this project? The different prototypes, supplies, tools. I know it's like maybe trial and error. It's a cool idea. Yeah, what is like behind the scenes? Tell us more about Ntagle.
Yeah, so I kind of I've had a seed of an idea for a while of trying to find a way to connect Web3 to physical objects. And I'd been researching for some other stuff. I've been researching NFC technology, and they had just invented some really inexpensive, high volume NFC chips like last year that provide like a new URL, like a new cryptographic URL every time you scan it. And they had I was just getting looking deep into them. Like, man, these things are less than $1 and they're raw cost. And this would be such a scalable solution. But most of the solutions out there for connecting Web3 to physical objects are using like a different type of technology that has a raw cost of $6 to $10 per unit. So it's going to be like 10 times more expensive. And if you think of it like a skateboard, like the golden skateboards that use the physical bound token in the Ethereum network, like their solution, they're probably adding an additional $20 at least to do for the hardware necessary to do the connection. And that hardware is going to need custom code that you have to trust that code does what it does and it's not lying to you, which is not really a way to verify exactly what's written onto the physical object. And then you have to use a third-party provider to even connect to the Ethereum network. And with the IC and these new tags, I basically found a way to have a standardized tag that's cryptographically verified as being what it is, the same exact model it is. It's not customizable and it's not programmable, so you don't have to have really any trusted code on the physical object. It connects directly to the front end of a canister, so you don't need any third-party interventions, and the cost is way lower, so it's a lot more scalable, and there's a lot more options there. And so yeah, I like once I kind of went down this road and figured out it was possible, I got some validation from people who are a lot smarter than me with cryptography and security. I then realized that we can connect these however we want. So for the first iteration, it was a transferable hardware wallet, and I would say think of this as different from a normal hardware wallet. So a normal hardware wallet just holds your secret key, and the seed words for that secret key. And so if you lose the hardware wallet, you can use those seed words to put them into another hardware wallet. So but you can't really transfer that to somebody else because they have to trust that you somehow conveniently forget your seed words, which is not realistic, right? What I've got is basically a physical device and a smart contract, the canister and the IC that share a secret together that not even the encoder or the owner know what that secret is. And it's associated to a wallet on the IC. So if you lost the device or whatever, if your wallet is the owner, you can still get a new one and replace it. But there's no seed words for that device directly. And so if you transfer it to somebody else, you lose complete control, and they have complete control, and you can't empty the funds out of the wallet once you hand it to them and they claim it. It's 100% there. So it's a transferable hardware wallet, and that hasn't really. There's been a few other things that have tried to do that. There's like Bitcoin credit sticks that are one-time use, but there's nothing quite like that. And then what it really does on the recently I've been turning it into a platform, so other Dapps developers will be able to integrate and essentially get back yes, this was a valid scan of a physical tag, and here's the ID for your Dapps for this tag, and they can do with that whatever they want. So basically, any tag will be compatible with any Dapps that makes itself compatible. So it's like a Dapps store built into a physical object. Like maybe you buy it because it's bound to an NFT, but then you could also turn it into a Bitcoin transferable wallet, and so or spawn a metaverse item into it or whatever you want. And then from a developer's end, let's say there's several thousand people with these physical tags out there. You could make your Dapps compatible, and now you have an audience, and you didn't have to ship anything. You just use the tags that were already out there to add some functionality that people are using in the real world with physical objects. So it's a whole different approach than similar Web3 to physical, or I hate the word. I hate physical or something. What do you say? It's like physical or whatever. I don't like that particular word for it. But yeah, people are trying to coin that. But it's kind of a different, unique IC focused approach because it's something that can really only be done with the IC. So it's really exciting, and I want it to be kind of an open thing and just a resource for the community, because I think that it could be a great way to accelerate usage of the IC itself, and also just I don't know, nothing is more intuitive than physical objects, right? So onboarding into Web3 itself, like Web3 mass adoption, I think might end up being more physical than we realized.
Yeah. No, the idea is pretty cool. It's a Web3 token wallet that is permanently bound to a physical NFC tag, which is discreetly embedded within a solid 3D printed keychain. The keychain is really cool.
Yeah.
It's the ICP logo, right? It's black.
Well,
It's like a square, right?
yeah, it's like a square, and it's kind of like I made up a logo that kind of included. Well, it's called Ntagle because it's like entangled particles in physics, and well, honestly, because Ntagle.com was available, but
Okay.
but yeah, so and like I kind of turned the Dfinity logo into like an entangled particle logo a little bit. So there's a few form factors available. Like you can have little PVC cards that are like credit cards or gift card type form factor, and you could have artwork printed on the front and back, or you can have these little keychains, and they're easily protected and super robust and strong. And just an idea of how strong these things are. I boiled one of these tags in water for 5 minutes, and it was perfectly fine. Like they can last 50 years, 200,000 use cycles, so they're pretty robust. But yeah, the way it might look is like a Dapp. Well, either a person buys it directly. I think I'm going to do at some point early next year a pre-sale or just a sale where you can buy these tags, and they come with a built-in transferable ICP wallet. But they could also, like I said, if anybody builds anything else, they could take on other use cases as they're developed, and then or I could sell in bulk to adapt project, like maybe an NFT collection wants to launch a physical version of their NFT line. They could buy the tags in bulk, kind of pre-configure them to already hold an NFT, or integrate with their Dapp however they want, and then sell those to people directly. So I'm in some early talks for a few projects, because I think that'll be really cool. And our approach for that, there's a lot of different approaches that could be taken, but I think it'd be cool to see NFTs where the person who owns the physical object is able to control the transfer function. So you have flexibility if you own it to move it between like your Plug wallet or your Stoic wallet or your Infinity Swap wallet. But then if you give somebody else the physical object, well, then they can transfer it to their wallets. And so in that way, it's like the NFT is physically bound to the real object in the real world. But you still have flexibility with regards to how you use it in the digital side of things.
And where when you expected launch the wallet, the sale, or now is that pre-sale? I saw, like, for example, for the keychains, cost is like $5. I'm not pretty sure if now I can buy the keychains, or is it for 2023? If it's any online shop, or what is your idea for in terms of business, in terms of sell the product?
Yeah, so I think and I've still been figuring some of this out. And I have a list of people who've been waiting for some alpha tags. So there's a few more enhancements I want to do on my end with the Ntagle platform, just to make sure that, like, when I encode these, that they are coded properly and only once, and will work with whatever else is added to the platform. So I'll probably be shipping out some alpha tags to a few people in the ecosystem next month, but I won't be doing a sale until probably like mid to late February, because I'm gonna be pretty heavily invested in Motoko Bootcamp all the way up to that event's done, and then yeah, I'll be selling some of these. I think I'm gonna go with the cards because they're really easy to fit in your wallet. And I want to do some beautiful artwork front and back. So yeah, it's kind of looking like that timeline, and I think it'd be fun to kind of see how people react when I get these in their hands. We already done some initial trials. We did some conference handouts for Dfinity earlier. Was it like early last month or early this month? I don't know. Time's been flying by, but those are pretty cool. Like, you get handed this thing at a conference, and you can use your phone unlock to claim it, and then you can take a quiz and earn ICP for each right answer and stuff. So like, we've already had some some users out there enjoying some cool features. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of get these more out there to see how the community reacts.
Mm. Okay, yeah, and in terms of security, how it works in Ntagle exactly? How we can lock and unlock the wallet, request access? Is you mentioned it's not seed phrases; it's directly with the internet identity. People can log in directly with the number of their internet identities. Also, how it works is people can tap directly in the back of their smartphones.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, and also I have another question. Maybe it's like a lot of questions, but
Yeah, no
in
worries.
yeah, in terms of wallets, you mentioned also is people can transfer from their Stoic wallets or ICP, the Infinity Swap wallets or Plug wallets. Is it
Mhm.
possible from other wallets, like external wallets, like cold wallets, for example, MetaMask or Jack's Liberty or other cold wallets to entangle? If or it only works for ICPs? How it works? For example, if I have Bitcoins or if I have
Mhm.
I don't know, Solanas or whatever. Can I also transfer to this wallet, or by now it's just for ICPs? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, basically, the way these tags work is that they're encoded with a specific type of like cryptographic key, and with using this key, they generate a unique URL with every single scan. And then on the back end, you're verifying that it has like that URL is a valid URL, and that it's the scan count has not been seen before. So like even if you stole the URL off of a valid scan, as soon as the owner scans it again, that URL that you have is useless and invalid. So you can't really copy the tag, because before this, these tags kind of just held a string of information that could easily be copied, kind of like a QR code. So it wasn't really secure and couldn't really hold anything useful. Um, and so yeah, like basically, to claim ownership, you need to have both a valid scan and like a really long secret code that's generated by the current owner. So like when you claim ownership, you give the secret owner of the previous owner the secret code of the previous owner plus this valid scan, and then now your principal is associated as the owner, and from then on only you have like owner rights, and it's going to be locked by default because the tag doesn't have your secret transfer code. But when you want to unlock the tag to like put it in the mail or hand it to somebody else so that they can claim ownership, you go through a process that basically adds your secret directly to the end of the URL that the tag generates. So like the status of being unlocked is actually related to the data on the physical tag itself. And so this transfer code is there because not even the original encoder will be able to know what that is. So like right now, I'm going to be the only encoder, and even if I were to be malicious, I would still not have the transfer codes needed or any way to get them, so that I can't even remotely claim ownership of a tag. Like you have to have the physical object to claim ownership of a tag. And even if you're the owner, you don't know what future scans will be and what the credentials for those will be. So you have to physically scan the tag if you're going to like prove ownership of it or whatever. And so yeah, as far as like you really just need a principal on the IC to be associated with. So it doesn't have to be internet identity. For the conference, I got it to work with WebAuthn, which basically means like you could use your fingerprint on your phone or your PIN or your pattern, whatever you normally do to unlock your phone.
Okay.
I was able to generate a principal on the IC with that, and so that was able to claim ownership of the tag and make it unique for a particular device. So that's pretty cool. And then of course with like NFID, you can use a Google account, and like whatever can make a principal on the IC can be used. As far as compatibility of the actual hardware, every Android pretty much made since 2011 and pretty much any iPhone since 2018 will be able to scan these tags from the home screen by default with no app open or no hardware, like different hardware or anything. It's just built-in hardware. So all you do is just tap it to the back of your device. It can only be detected within 10 centimeters. So like, it's not like people can really like scan you from far away or anything. You can't even know if the device is anywhere near or exists in a room. You basically have to make physical contact with it to scan it. So that's a nice aspect of it as well. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to get into it with like doing this with NFCs, because pretty much everybody out there has a device ready to go to use it. So if you have a smartphone and internet connection, now you can have digital assets and you can do cash transactions with them, and you could do anything else. I mean, I want it to be in a place where eventually you could go to a garage sale and buy a metaverse item and then use it in the metaverse that afternoon. Just like that would be dope. You know?
Wow. Yeah. And also, yeah, the last question for me is about the NFC tags. Why you think this technology is good for Ntagle, and why you think Ntagle is different? I know it's pretty disruptive compared with other wallets, but why you think it's different with other solutions, other current solutions on the market?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think yeah, I kind of already went into some of this a little bit. I mean, I think that there's still a place for normal hardware wallets, like when you want a Ledger Nano to hold your Ethereum wallet or whatever. I think there's still going to be a place for that, and these will be more for binding Web3 properties to physical objects, whether that's going to be a transferable token wallet of some kind or something bound to an NFT. I think it's, like imagine merch where you have a hoodie and there's an NFT bound to the hoodie. You can only wear that hoodie in the metaverse if you're have access to it in the real world. So I think it's going to be used a lot in those contexts. As far as what makes it different, there are a few out there, but the ones I know of, they use physical objects that are more expensive and more complex and have custom code, basically to do ESDCA signing from the physical object itself. And that's going to have some scalability issues, just because like every device that has that is going to have an extra $20 cost added on top, just because of the nature of the hardware at it. And that's going to be that's a lot higher than what we'll be able to do. And we still maintain that security. So like I think that there's a place for a blend, like their physical object will be signing everything directly. So like if you stole it, it's pretty much it's always unlocked, right? So like with these devices, with Ntagle, because of the constraints of the tech, I ended up going a certain direction, and I kind of like the implications of that. So like the fact that your digital ownership can be locked, where even if they take the physical item, you can replace it and you didn't lose anything. Like I think that's really cool, because you have that like digital robustness. Like somebody can't just physically steal my Bitcoin if I don't let them, right? I have to intentionally unlock this physical device when I know that I'm ready to hand it off. Like I think there's value to that. Yeah, and having it be associated with a secondary identity. I think there's like that was something I had to do from the nature of the tech, but I actually like the way that lends itself in terms of kind of blending the digital and physical control of an object. So yeah, basically, in terms of distinct differences, it comes down a little bit to implementation and scalability, and that's what makes this unique.
Great. Okay, yeah, we are going to post for sure the Ntagle Twitter and your Twitter and everything, all the information for the listeners. Yeah, thank you so much, Isaac, for being with us today. Best of luck for 2023 with Code and State. I think it's a really great project. Also with Ntagle, for sure. And also good luck with the Motoko Bootcamp at the end of January. I think it's from 16 to 23 January. Yeah, and Happy New Year.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for having me, and you have a good rest of your day, and hope everyone out there has a great start to their year with the ICP ecosystem. I think we've got a lot of great things to look forward to.
Okay, great. See you soon. Thank you, Isaac, for your time. Take care.
Take care. Bye.